Channel. I am about to make a green juice. I am a raw vegan. I was sick most of my life. I have had my stomach removed, my duodenum removed, top of intestines removed. I am hoping the sound is working now. I just was on a live and it wasn't working. So hopefully someone can jump on and tell me if the sound is working. That would be amazing because it says it is. The mute is off. Let me push this off. So yes, is that working? You have to tell me if this is working. Yeah, I've had my stomach removed, my duodenum, top of intestines. I was sick, over 60 surgeries. I was always in bed. I've just been for a run and done Pilates. Thanks, guys. Yeah, and so I share what I do, what I eat, what I have been doing, like all the exercise, so that you can feel your best too. We are about to make a green juice. So yeah, let's get started. If you have any questions, just ask. But I want to hydrate. I had some coconut water, which I do whenever I train. It makes me feel amazing. I am fasted. Well, I say fasted, but I have had a matcha. I have had coconut water. I just don't put food in until later in the day. And what I notice is if I eat and exercise, I really struggle. But remember, I have no stomach or duodenum or top of intestine, so it does take a lot for me to digest. So what I've noticed is just using juices in the morning. There is a mast cell activation folder. In that folder is what I eat in a day, and that is in the description. So, hey! Okay, so we need a knife. I haven't even emptied the dishwasher today, but important stuff, right? First is celery. Now this celery probably needs a little bit of a rinse. I do get it from the farmer's market and the guy cleans it for me, but we want to make sure it's really clean, which it looks clean, but... Now this is a juice very similar to what Lou Corona does, but whether it's just celery and apple and cucumber, that's all fine too. Just got a juicer here. I have a Nama juicer. It's on my Amazon storefront if you want to have a look what model it is, but I'm not going to fit it across the screen. I'm actually going to twist it around so I can see what I'm doing. There. Put that in there. That's better. That makes more sense. So I always feel so alive when I have this juice. I try not get too many of the leaves of the celery. If you get too many leaves, you end up, it's very bitter. So I started eating more vegetables and surprisingly they're working out better for me than fruit, even though I stuck to a raw diet alone for more than 2 years. It's interesting, isn't it? I feel stronger with veggies and less... I think there was a stage fruit worked and then it just didn't. It really didn't. And I have fruit again now, but just not much. Like I really balance it with fruit and vegetables. And I do want to say nuts and seeds, but I have noticed the days that I do oil, flax oil, my gut is much happier. I don't have a stomach, so that makes sense. So I'm going to do a few days with just veggies and flax oil. And yeah, without the seeds essentially. And I'm doing, like I will put, I find lime, so citrus has histamines in it. I find limes are much better. So yeah, I need a new juicer. I have no stomach, yes, no stomach. I had it removed. There was a perforated ulcer which rotted the gut up and down. And so they tried to save it, like I've showed before, there's like scars, it goes up here as well. And they tried to save it twice and without success. That was, oh my gosh, that was like 20 years ago now. I was 25 and now I'm 44. So yeah, 20 years. I've been sick for a long time and I'm well now, but I stayed sick for a very long time. Let me get some cucumbers and some ginger. Ginger, my gut craves ginger like no tomorrow. And I'll get some herbs going in it as well. I find herbs amazing. So big chunk of ginger. Thank you, Total Tech. Yes, I think I get inspired to share. I get inspired to just love myself as much as I can. And through that, originally, this wasn't how I started out. Let me show you guys, anyone new. Anyone who's used to this will know that I share these photos a lot. Just to see where I've come from. It's a progression, but you've got to just keep loving where you're at, right? You've got to keep making good decisions and keep leveling up. Continue to level up so that you always can do better, feel better, which is what I want for everybody. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to find these photos so people can see just how far I've come and what food does in your life, like far out. Half my problem was I never knew the answer. So that was me at 36. I had had almost 60 surgeries at this stage. I had had my stomach out. I'd had this rare congenital disease in my hip, which caused me tremendous trouble. Huge amounts of opioids for pain. I was coming off them over time, and I just got sicker and sicker. At this point, there were so many things wrong. I had heart issues. My blood work was just showing chronic inflammation and all problems. That's why they didn't think I was going to make it. And then I dissociated and I lost part of my memory and went through a whole lot of stress with that. And I came out the other side, didn't do too badly, but then I lost, I got shingles through my eye, and I got something called FND, which is a functional neurological disorder. And I'm trying to find the photo here, and a functional neurological disorder, and I ended up in a neurological hospital relearning to walk and talk, and literally to pick something up back, not this stage, this was about a year after being in the hospital when it all first started, was impossible. It was so much effort to pick even one thing up in my life, and now I'm running and doing Pilates, and I love it. And I came 10 months, so from that photo, 10 months later of just fresh foods, is here. My hair's grown back. I have very little inflammation. My blood work showed everything had healed except my liver still needed to heal. Yeah. So all is possible, guys. Hi. Hello. I have abs. Well, I think I have abs. I don't know whether it is abs or it's there's my scar makes it look abbier. Abbier. There's a word. My scar helps me look abbier. I am 44 now. So yeah, I'm 44 now, and I'm happy. I'm in a good place. I will say, having my diet has changed. I will try and get it off Jules, the talk I did recently. So I have this presentation which I wrote originally when I first went raw, and I did it so I could share it in Fruity Fridays, and then I built on it and did another presentation on it. But you can actually, the list of things that I went through, it's when I read it, I'm did I really survive all that? And I did, and I'm here. But there's different ways of doing raw, and I've evolved into doing this. You can do what suits you, but yeah, it really helped me. Let me try getting some herbs. Yep, got some herbs. Well, and I do want to get out, I have been taking, and it is in the mast cell activation folder, I have been taking quercetin, which is a polyphenol, which is found in plants, which is the natural antihistamine, because I have mast cell activation syndrome, and I can get rashes and nerve pain and all that sort of thing, but I'm doing pretty well. I must say I'm doing really well at the moment. So I keep sharing, and so far I haven't had bad days. I was really tired yesterday, but I've been working a lot. I think being tired is different. So anyway, back to histamines. This is a histamine liberator, but it doesn't seem as bad as lemon. So I'm going to get that in to the juice. We've got ginger, we've got celery, we've got green apple, lime, we've got coriander. Sometimes I use parsley, or you can use spinach, but I'll save the spinach for my salad. Thanks, Bassie. Thank you so much. I know, I can't believe how well I am, and how it's my birthday, and I'm about to go to the US, about to go to New York. So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. So I hope everyone else is having, what do you think about the fiber you're throwing away? So I have no stomach. So what I think doesn't really apply to anybody else, and I think I'm an extreme case, no stomach, no duodenum, no top of intestines. So I think, I don't even want to say mine's a special case because I believe everybody's special. So I think it's really important when we comment on other people's posts, we don't assume they've been through what we have. So I know, of course, multiple people have had different parts of their bowel resected. I work with and I speak to often, and they all have different problems than me, but we all kind of assume that getting rid of the fiber and all of that. And I've tried to get it in like, what do you want to call it, in dehydrated food and stuff, and I can make small amounts of it, but my body it seems to do really good at the first part of the day, just having no fiber, hydration, and then the second part of the day, which is I share in a folder, the mast cell activation folder, and low histamine diet is in there. I can eat just little meals for about 5 hours and then I have to stop. And that seems to, because as soon as my gut goes AWOL, my whole system is off, which is pretty normal, right? Yesterday I have to eat stew with potatoes. Potatoes are good. Composted, it's never wasted. So I would love to compost it. I usually put what I can down the drain, down the sink, but I live in an apartment with no grass. There's not even place to store it, to take it somewhere. But I don't focus on the things that seem to be problematic. I focus on the good things I do in life. Like I get up and I make juice, and what else do I do? Make salads. I go for walks. I go for runs. I don't drink. I don't, I don't have a lot of toxins in my life. And that makes me happy. If I keep focusing on what I can't do, I break. And that was my problem in the first part of my life. So I would love, and we always talk about in these lives, is the whole point of these lives is over time, and I get money and I can do more lives. But then hopefully one day I'll have a yard and I'll have compost. So yeah, everyone, it does different things for this universe, and I do the best I can. So do you include chickpeas in your diet? No. Okay, here's the thing about chickpeas. I tried with the chickpeas. I've tried, I do lentils. I love soaked lentils or sprouted lentils. But every time I do chickpeas, I am 9 months pregnant. 1 or 2 of them sprouted, same problem. It's the one food, even starchy foods I'm okay with. I can blend those up, but blended chickpeas, I'm still not in a good place. So I don't do them, but I think a lot of people can get them in. I just can't. So even if you place it in the trash, it composts in landfill. Yes, that's what I think of. I just think like how much sometimes I can get myself down. So remember when I first went raw, somebody contacted me, and this is when I wasn't eating anything from a packet, all fresh. And I only had, I think, a blender at that stage. And someone contacted me and said, how do you feel about taking electricity for all your appliances? And I'm like, in this life, and I've talked about this, I sit with what feels right for me. So it's taken years for me to accumulate. It took me 3.5 years in to get a juicer of being a raw foodist. I got the blender 6 months in. I just used a chopping board. But I did it for 2 reasons. Is the more appliances, the more overwhelming it can feel. So I like to just step by step along the way. But it's so interesting how people are in my DM saying, what appliances, electricity you're taking. I'm like, I take no more than I need. That's the principle I apply. I take only what I need. I never go into excess. I don't need 5 blenders. I've just got the 1 blender. I only have 1 jug, and I'm a chef. Like, I do not do excess, and I feel like good when I sit there, because part of this is spiritual as well. So we've got to feel good with our choices. And I feel good just not over consuming, just taking what I need. You lady or ape? Well, I'm a lady who survived 60 surgeries and 7 major organs removed, so I would say a hero, my own hero. So, but you're entitled to think whatever you like. Trust me, with what I've been through, it's very hard to offend me. Very hard to offend me. In fact, from some videos I've seen, there's actually nicer personality of apes than there are men that I've actually seen in these comments. But please keep going. Be a standout figure for men. Yes, 60 surgeries. I had a rare congenital disease, a second piece of uterus attached to nerves and ligaments. I started having surgeries. Well, the first one was removing my tonsils and adenoids when I was 8, and then they started when I was 16 with there's all exploratory surgery holes around here, down here, and then they'd go in down below to do pelvic work. I've had used to be knocked out just to put Botox in my spine for pain, a whole lot of things. So. Oh, there you go. Thank you. That's a nice compliment, Jane Fonda. Aren't you lovely? All my clothes are from Cotton On, and I got cold when I was up the street. Now I'm boiling. But I just got this cute little top. So this is really not expensive, all vegan, all cotton. Nobody has this. If you're Australian, you'll know. It's just like a little... like a little jacket, and I got a jumper as well. Jumper, you don't call them jumpers, do you? Sweatshirt. We call this like a jumper. We call this a jacket. So this is cute, right? My microphone will get buried in a second. So that's really cute. But I also got this one as well, just because the color was really nice. It's just blue, but they're not expensive. I don't know how much. These two together, I think, were $100. And they last forever. It seems Cotton On lasts ages. So I love that. So this will probably be about 2 or 3 liters of juice, and I'll just keep sipping on it. What I don't drink, I will move over to tomorrow. Got fluff ball things flying across the table. You said you're sick from work and you're on live. This is a write-up? I don't know what that means. What do you mean sick from work? I don't think I worked when I was younger, but like only for a few years. I lost my stomach when I was working. I had my stomach removed. But I don't know what that means. So, welcome back, Bassie. Oh, thank you. Yes, it's the juicer. Chelsea, congratulations on overcoming everything you deserve to show it off. You are a warrior. Fuck the haters. Yes, I am. And I remember I had when I came out and I had this, because this comes up here all the way down here. And a neighbor said, I know a good plastic surgeon, I can have it removed. I'm like, have it removed? I said, this is my warrior badge. This is a survival thing here. So, oh my God, there's a lot of juice. I feel like I'm going to spill this. What I'm going to do is put this to the side. Do I need more? See, for all that, that's all that came out. And half of it's still stuck in here, and that goes down the incinerator, which actually gets composted straight away. But that small bit will not. That'll get thrown away. But I don't think I have much waste. So what we're going to do is we're going to spill this for sure. But that's all right. See, very simple. Even my ice tray, sometimes I need more ice. I'm like, I don't really want to buy another ice tray. I like buying like fresh food, which I can transform into like goodness, but like other stuff, I just take what I need and then leave it. So, all right, let's see how precise I am here. Not too bad. Hey Yellowstone, thanks for subscribing. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. You're from Georgia in the US. Find a little farm and take the scraps too. So I have to store the scraps before I take it. I don't even have enough room in the freezer as it is. I tried doing that and I kept putting it in, and then I couldn't get my food in. So what I'll say is, everyone who wants to do this, do your best. Like, just do your best, and then that's all the universe expects of you. Like, if you start feeling uncomfortable, which I haven't yet, about doing something, then it's something in your life to work on. But at the moment, I feel like I'm doing my best every day, and that doesn't have to be the best in someone else's eyes, only my eyes. My chickens would love the table scraps. This one, I don't know what that means. Thank you. I feel like I glow from the plants. The plants. Oh my God, that sounds American. So I just fill my little ice tray up, and most of the day I keep popping these out and doing it, but I don't have that much space. Like, maybe it seems like I have a lot of space. I think it does. When I watched back on that kitchen tour video, it looks like I have like a huge kitchen, but this is just a 1-bedroom apartment, and I just make use of it. Turned it into my little YouTube studio to share things with people. So don't know what that means either. Some people write really long things and I don't know what it means. Maybe you could explain a little more. Yeah, so I've got some more green juice here. I won't go overboard because already, like, here in Australia, it's already almost 20 to 12. I did a later Pilates class and a later run and all of that. So I make YouTube shorts. Do you? Can you comment after this video so I can go follow you? I love following people back, obviously, who are content creators. Yeah, let me put this in the fridge. I always try and stay organized, because if I don't, this lifestyle can pile up on us. But also, this lifestyle gives me so much energy that I've got energy to do all this stuff. Oh, I know what I wanted to show you. These were so good. These were the sun-dried tomato and pecan. They need to actually probably go back in. The sun-dried tomato and pecan crackers that we made the other day. I haven't even photographed them yet. I might photograph them because I ate half of them. I just went, these are so good. They're actually more bread-like, but there's the taste. There's sun-dried tomato, yeah, pecan. We made those. So that was on Friday, so it might be your Thursday. But that was fun. But I will photograph those. I might put a post up about them. Yeah. I'm 11. My YouTube shorts kind of suck. It's just some art edits. Okay, here's the thing. If you look back and see my first post, and I probably spent so long making them, if you love doing it, show up and just keep doing it. Like, because you'll attract the people that like it. And also I noticed, because my nieces do like TikTok and things like that, is how fast young people are. Like, their perception on the world is like they speed up edits, they speed up bits. It's quite amazing. Obviously, they're more technical literate. Their brains are fast. So thank you so much for making those crackers that I asked for. Very kind of, oh, it was you, One Flesh. Yes, so because I don't usually get asked for it. So they are probably I've been nailing recipes lately. They are really good, but I didn't completely dry them because I find maybe that's why I never make crackers. I don't like really dry food. I like it a bit more bready. But I put the full recipe up on the Friday. I already written that up. It's already posted there. And I did put in the caption for it, or in the recipe, that when you blend it, let it sit for 10 minutes for the chia and the nuts to all thicken up, and then put it out. But they're really good. So let me put, I'm 44. So there's always many weirdos in this life, but as we say, we're just detoxing them. You'd be surprised how much a bright light and bright comments about health and everything can trigger someone who is deep in denial. So we're just bringing them to the front line. So give me a color palette. I don't know what that means. I wonder what my color palette is. I assume because my name's Sky, it'd be some. Well, I think all color palettes have all colors, right? It's different shades. So, I'm actually going to make a second matcha for the day because it's Sunday. I had one at tea this morning, so I can show you guys again how I do that. I will clean this juicer up. Off the live, you don't have to watch me wash up. I need 7 colors. I mean, pick random. Okay, pink, blue, yellow, green, orange, aqua, hot pink. Are these now getting into shades? Different forms of like blue and pink and all of that. Let me bring this over. Okay, we'll move that there. Okay, so we've still got green juice here. What I'll do is put this in. I think that's red. I would say black and white as well. Does that count? We've already. So yeah, there's 2 green juices, but yeah, it's running late for me in the day. So we'll see how we go. Ooh, go with that. But yeah, so I usually have like 3, sometimes 4. So I've already had a liter of coconut water and then maybe 2 of these most days. And if I don't do this and I start eating by the end of the day, not having a stomach, all that happens is it's almost like dislocates my back. It doesn't dislocate my back, but it feels like I'm like that, like by the end of the day. And when I do liquids in the morning, I find I'm much better. I think also as you age, you don't have much elastin and collagen and connective tissue isn't as strong, so you've got to like be strong for it or think for it. Let me just get this. And we'll put this one in the fridge. Oh, we didn't take the quercetin, which you can get in any brand. These are 600 milligrams per tablet. I'm doing really well. This is to help with my mast cell activation syndrome. So I'll just take one. Mind you, the first 3.5 years on raw foods, I didn't take any supplements but a B12 injection once a year, which I think with missing organs isn't realistic long term. I mean, it's only because of science that I'm actually still alive. So I think I have to rely on science a little bit more to stay there. But yeah, I was going to do a matcha. So what I do, I think you guys have seen this before, is I do boil some water, but I don't actually use hot water. So I'll explain what I do. I boil some water. Okay, we've got that going on. Now, the matcha I use is literally just, all it is ground up green tea leaves, as far as I'm aware. There's nothing else in it. Oh my God, when I accidentally tried one that had flavors in it and sugar, oh my God, it was like, oh, now I'm going to just add sugar to everything. It was crazy. My brain just was like, and I just want cooked things. This one is just, there's no in particular one. This is from the health food shop. It's called Matcha Maiden. But yeah, it's just the green powder. And I get my blender and I have homemade almond milk. I've actually done a video on how to make this. I swap the seeds, so I either use almonds or hemp, and I'm out of hemp, so I'm using almonds. And I literally just put almonds, water, and 3 dates because I want it a bit sweet because I will not put sugar or syrup or anything in it. So I do that. I fill it up to about there. I fill about that much with almonds or seeds, and then 3 dates, and then about up to there of water. But you can change the consistency. I use a nut milk bag. Oh, here. I think I've got some up on my Amazon storefront. You can get these anywhere. They're just a mesh bag. You can use a cloth if you want to. But you just pour the blended nut milk through that and you've got, voila! And this lasts 3 to 4 days. It's probably about that much, half a litre. And I find I can have that in the mornings. And the matcha really helps with my focus. I was someone who was on stimulant medication for ADHD for 4 years. And I found since using it again, a lot of my concentration has come back really well. And it doesn't give you like a jolt. You just consistently feel more alert. That's how I feel. Also, I don't hold as much fluid when I have matcha. So I like that. Thanks for subscribing. Okay, hey Rocky. If you hadn't grounded in nature and just done the food, do you think you would have healed as quickly? I love this question. I wish I could explain this in so many terms. No. If you are, this has happened, the reason I know this, because the same happened when I started juicing for shingles. So the more raw foods I put in, just pure food, so not anything like this, anything from a packet, just pure foods, the more I needed to be outside. Like outside was literally screaming at me. Plus, anytime I had been outside, a lot of my shaking from coming off prescription medications, vaping, I had been an alcoholic, junk food, stopped, and my mind would become still. The power of nature, especially when you fill your body with fresh foods, is unmatched. It's like it wants to connect, you become it, and you need to connect with nature. So when I had been raw and I was eating a lot of like watermelon and grapes inside to try and heal shingles, and then I got on juices because I noticed that my body just couldn't do anything with food inside of it. I had to have liquids. Is within 4 days, 3 days, 4 days, is I was up. But once I got outside, it was like, it rained, it was New Year's Day a year ago. And I went outside and just stood in the rain after juicing for like 4 days. It was like magic. It was like coming back to life. What nature did is what psychologists and psychiatrists try and do. And this is coming from a place, if I studied psychology at university. Okay, so I wanted to become a psychologist for 5 years, but then I ended up too sick. Is that instead of sitting in your trauma will not leave. You think you can work through it as much as you can, but if you've been on a healing journey, you'll know things can just spring up whenever, right? That is in you, but what nature does, it's almost like it rewires the brain to create higher levels of connection, like more present connection. So anytime I was in nature with raw foods inside of me, I was so present, I was creating a new life. And before I tried to heal in this like darkness, where I went to a psychologist and psychiatrist for many years, because when you're in chronic pain, they're part of your team. And part of your pain team to help you through pain. And you sit in a space once a week. You think about going to the session. What are you going to say? You're literally turning on all that stuff which you need to be more as a lesson. So all my darkness is now lessons which I am stronger because I went through. But if I spend too much time inside and ate cooked food, I relive, or I get in like, it almost feels like a time loop where I am the old version of me. Whereas the more raw food nature. Now I notice this principle in the mornings if I only do Pilates. I don't feel as good. If I just do running, I still feel amazing, or just walking. If I do walking before Pilates, my day is a hell of a lot better because Pilates is inside. There is untapped phenomenon, and I know I could always talk about the currents, like the current in the human body is a direct current. We are around alternate currents all day. These phones, these lights, we become inflamed. But it's more than that. There is so much that can be done. If I hadn't been like at rock bottom where I would do anything to climb out of the hole I was in. Like I'm literally outside in these old donated clothes in the dirt, touching trees, pulling leaves, bringing them inside. I just had to have it around me all the time. Move my bed so all I did was look at the moon or the sun, because remember I had FND, so sometimes I couldn't get up for days. I could go to the bathroom and do small things, but the effort to do that was exponential. But having nature, and I'd lost everything. Like even when you're homeless, nature is there. Nature was hugging me. I was vegan, whole food vegan at this time. Well, I say whole food, but obviously when you're homeless and people giving you like vegan sausage rolls, that's all fine too. Yes, like and subscribe, guys. Thanks, Creative Heart. Like, there is no words to describe. Like, just think about where someone who's been like, this is where I ended up with science and my brain, and then the path when I got like the FND and disconnected, like that. I lived, and the reason I'm in the water, that water's at the front of my home, the home I grew up in. I grew up in a 5-story home. I was given a car. I had boyfriends who gave me amazing gifts. I had everything that somebody thinks is apparently what makes somebody happy. But seriously, I am happier with just fresh food, love, nature. And when I can't access that without raw foods. So I get stuck in my own head as soon as I have too much dehydrated food or too much tamari and stuff. And like you create your own problems. You're like, that person's being mean and that. And I'm like, what is going on? And then I bring up my vibration with the foods. But that like connection to nature is everything. Like that's the first step. So it's like if I was to say, because I couldn't sleep at the time, whenever I've had these like, twice there's been months where I don't sleep. And when I say that is I'll black out for like 40 minutes and come to, and that's all I get. And it's like this panic, this PTSD panic. This first step was the food. Nature has always been there. Nature helped me even when the food wasn't there, to be honest. Like when I've been in psych hospitals with nobody. And this is towards the end. My psych problems only started at 36. At this stage, I was still pretty happy. I wasn't even depressed because I'd always known being sick. But nature was always there. But then the raw food just turned nature on. Like turned me on, turned nature on. And then everything after that just lights up more. Even the fact I've been to this chiropractor every week and kinesiologist, and what I have got out of that because I look after myself is exponential. It's like tapping into a whole kingdom of natural therapies that now is like so much better because it's raw food in my system. And I've worked with spiritual healers and they say they love working with someone with who's on raw food because everything happens very fast. But everything feels amazing when you eat a raw food diet. So you need a farm. Could do a co-op. So this is how I do, is what I noticed about me is these are all things I cannot wait to have and I love, but I sit in gratitude wherever I am. What I noticed is when I finally got my life together is when I fell in love with my funny little first apartment and just the fact that I could use my disability money for raw food and have some nature, is I was so in awe because I remember I'd been homeless. So have a roof over my head. I just sat in gratitude, and then all of a sudden I was reconnected with my family again, and they helped me use some money that I had saved to get because I just started working as well within a few months, like within 4 months or something, I started to get a place where I could just pay for a mortgage. And I didn't even ask for it, but because I sat in gratitude, it just came. What I notice about my life, if I don't want things and just love everything I have, everything just starts blooming. And I never used to live like that. Raw food helps me stay in that alignment, but instead of focusing, like I will think, yeah, that'll be nice, and I have dreams, but I sit so present, loving what I have. So I cannot wait to have that, but I definitely don't think too far forward, because that is the key, is staying present and loving the present. The present is the present. Hello. Okay, we're going to make this matcha. So what I do is this milk, I explained what we use. I just put some of it in here. So that's cold from the fridge. Now that water has already boiled, and it's boiled, I think, about 2 or 3 minutes ago. What I do is put some of that in here. So just to make it warm. So I don't want to make it like really, really hot because it destroys a lot of the food, and I need all the help I can get and feel amazing. Okay, I just get a small amount of this. It's like half a teaspoon, I think. Maybe a little bit more. Not much, just a little bit. And that's just matcha. You can put whatever you want in it. I just like simple things. So, and it's just ground tea leaves. And I just put this on the blender. And I make my own like matcha-chino. Is that a thing? There. And then once it's in the glass, if it needs to be creamier or it needs more warmth, I just use water or milk. So that's just like frothy. So it's like a matcha-chino. It's only like half the glass. It's not much. Hang on. I'm going to put a little bit more warm water in it. Yeah. So that's what I do. It tastes just like, I think it tastes just like more of a bitter tea. And then sometimes I put it in the fridge and have it later as an iced matcha. So, oh, I know what I wanted to say. My goal is to actually somehow have an island with coconut trees and plants that grow, and have coconut parties and just like live off the land. Uh, so especially like when I get into that manifesting state of mind, I always think about those type of things that I want to do. Just like I shouldn't have to buy coconuts every morning. Literally, they're free. But I am very grateful I can. And I notice that whenever I sit in fear, like, oh my God, that's too expensive, I kind of get myself into a place where I don't have enough money. But as long as I sit in a place of I can buy this and choose things which make me better, that I know make me better, I just seem to keep blossoming. And yeah, that makes me happy. So I kind of do matcha and green juice into go between them. I had cacao the other day. It cracked me out so much. It can do that. It doesn't, since getting the omegas in, it doesn't really do that to me anymore. But I also having higher omega-3s in my diet, I don't have addictive tendencies as much anymore either. So the cacao gives me a swollen belly down here and a itchy skin. But because it gives you like a big hit, I kept going back to it. I haven't had it in ages. I had it in the chocolate donuts on my birthday, but I only had a couple of those. Before that, haven't had it and don't need it. This actually helps me focus. I just notice a lot of what I've done this year, putting back in the hormones, the estrogen, doing things I used to do has literally helped my brain turn back on. Remember, I lost a lot of my memory to trauma. Now that can be a double-edged sword. If you put too much back in, you can turn on too much too fast. But I feel with a bit of stimulation that's not too overstimulating, because remember, a lot of I was on amphetamines for ADHD from the age of basically from my 20s to 40, almost 20 years. So a lot of your memory gets stored in different places depending on how, if you give somebody a lot of coffee who's had stimulants before when they've learnt, you'll find they access their memory. And I find this helps find part of me without being like a drug. And that's important to me because losing me was worse than losing my stomach. When you lose who you are, you realize it's why I'm in so much gratitude, because when I had that FND and I knew that I was missing and people would cry or do something, I couldn't feel anything. It was the hardest thing I've ever gone through, dark night of the soul, whatever you want to call it. So to get bits of me back is really amazing. Oh gosh, homegrown food or anyone's picking it from a garden is completely different. Like, it doesn't matter what the food is, you feel like you've gone into absolute bliss world. I love matcha, but I'm scared of it because I haven't had it in so long. I'm super sensitive to caffeine. If I was in that situation, I would, and you don't want it, don't have it. If you want it for a purpose, like I think things through a lot, like if I keep them in my life or add them in my life. It took me, this is a natural antihistamine, it took me almost a year. I've known about this for a year and a half, 2 years, that could help me with mast cell activation. It took me, there's actually a subscriber who mentioned something to me and it finally, oh, I've got to get the DAO I ordered too. I wouldn't use any of them. For years, I pushed through and pushed through and pushed through and pushed through. And if you're not meant to, don't. But then eventually now, what I've noticed having more of the omega-3s is I'm just so much stronger with what I can withstand and what I can, instead of withstand, what I can assimilate. So these things used to feel like they're attacking me. And now I feel like my body knows what to do with it. And then I just don't think about it for the rest of the day. When I first had cacao again, I had it and you work through the roof and then you constantly think about it. And that's like addiction, right? I have this, I could leave this. Actually, wondering if I will leave it. I'm like, the idea seemed good. I'll put it in the fridge. I will drink it, but I'll more than likely have it tomorrow with some warm water in it. And that's where I want to be, where my day is consumed by me, fun. Today, this afternoon, I have to finish setting up the gimbal for my camera because I'm going away. It's been sitting in a pile there and I need to do that. Like, I'll just be more on focus because I've had tea. It probably could be any tea. I just find green tea is a little softer. I find black tea is very harsh. That's just me. Plus, green tea has quercetin in it, which helps with histamine. So, yeah, so my advice is do what feels right for you. I know one other thing I've got to do here is I wanted to get some more. Where are we? Oh, it's in the cupboard. The wrong place. Here. I want to do some sea moss. So I do find sea moss is amazing. I used to have it every day, but I find now it's like every couple days. I just go with what my body wants, how often it wants it. So this is from the Sea Moss Gel Company. If you're in Australia, they're really good because it doesn't taste like vomit. The other one I tried that was Australian does. Oh, I don't want to do all that because I'm going away next week. So put some. That will literally just expand out, like mega expand. So we'll just put some water in that. I'm actually going to jump in the water again today. It's winter here in Australia, excuse me, but I love the feeling of the, ooh, falling over. I love the feeling of the ocean. Good morning. Hello. Yeah. I'm finding I don't need things as regularly. Even this, when I first started the quercetin, I don't take things just because, like if my body starts to go, I'm like, I listen, but this stuff, the fresh stuff, that goes into me every day. Everything else is a bit like, I'll think about it. Well, not think about it, I'll see how I feel each day, but I'm finding every 2 to 3 days, probably 3 days, I'll have a scoop or two and then I just leave it. I feel how hard it is for my body to assimilate and digest anything that's not raw foods. It seems that raw foods it feels like my body recognizes it, like coming home, like you're familiar, you're for me, and everything else, it's like, yeah, this will help, but I'm gonna have to work to get this through. That's what it feels like, and the sea moss feels like that too. Thank you. Hello from Orange Beach, Alabama. Hello, I've never heard of that. That sounds like a lovely place. It really does. So that was easy to soak, and then you just drain that off and you blend it up into a gel. Many people may not like it. I like things, I'm just used to things. It's good with green juice, actually. So, yeah. It's actually really cold outside today. So it will be like a real cold ocean dunk. But a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. It is 4 a.m. Where are you, White Fox? It is 12 p.m. It just turned lunchtime on Sunday here in Australia. So, So yeah, going ahead this week, I'm going to eat, especially because I'm traveling about this time next week. I think it's about this time next week. So I noticed that my body does really well with flax oil and vegetables. And I think I'm just going to do that this week, most meals, and a bit of fruit. Fruit seems to be okay as well, a little bit. So this, of course, in the morning, and then I eat for about 5 hours, just snack on like little plates. Hello. Thank you. Hi, Don. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to tell you. Usually I'm like endless talking. There's always endless talking, though I did a big live this morning as well. So make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I might jump on later, but I don't know whether I will because I'm just having like food. But if I get a chance, I will. I really need to set up my camera, and I'm probably just procrastinating. I'm like, oh, I'll just do live. But I'll have to sit down and do it. That's an ADHD thing. So, all right, guys, have a great weekend. I hope that helps some people in some way, and hope you stay motivated. And here's my tip for today is don't be scared to explore different versions of raw food. I am not here saying my version is correct, but if you've heard my journey, I have done it different ways constantly. And if I didn't do it like that, I feel like I would never end up in a place where I am in such great health. So my greatest tip right now is don't be scared to explore different versions of raw foods. So, yay, thanks guys.